everybody. For those of you who don't know me, I am Lauren Tidwell. I don't really do videos very often, but I talked to Elizabeth and she told me that I could try it and to talk about what was kind of on my heart. Sorry if you hear my new puppy. We just got him this week. So what's kind of been on my heart, I guess I could say, is the whole quarantine thing. And I know everybody's kind of tired of hearing about it. But really, this whole quarantine has really opened my eyes to being still. And we know in the Bible it talks about be still and know that I am God, and how He made the waters still in the storm. But with the quarantine, I realized that I wasn't still before this. My normal was to be on the move constantly being at church, having the Easter play, going to the gym, taking the kids to school, being at school, their extracurricular activities, um, helping pick up kids from school, making sure they get home on time. And then on the weekends, it was to clean the house, do the laundry. There was no time for family. Because by the time we got home from gym and church, it was do your homework, take a shower, take a bath, bedtime, and eat somewhere in between all of that. So that's what kind of fell on me, and I realized it kind of about 2 weeks ago, that I was not putting as much time for God because I was so busy. Me and God had thank you, God, for waking me up today. Be with me today, forgive my sins. I was going through the motions prayer. And that sounds terrible, but I didn't have time. At least I didn't make time. I had time, but I didn't make the time for me to spend with Him. And once all this came about, I have learned to intentionally make the time to be with Him. So I had found like a few little Bible verses that kind of talked about being still. Psalms 37:7. This is a NIV version. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him. Do not fret when people succeed in their ways, when they carry out their wicked schemes. So really I was focusing on the be still before God and wait patiently for Him, because before this, I guess, new normal, as a lot of people are calling it, it was, God, I need this now, and I need you to work my time, not your time. And now that now that I purposely make the choices to spend more time with Him before I start my day, before the kids get up, once Jonathan leaves, it's kind of a me time. And I spend it bettering my marriage, bettering me, because I have two different devotionals that I follow. One that betters me as the wife part, and then one that focuses more on my walk with God. And they kind of go hand in hand. Some days it's really weird because they both go together, and I'm like, whoa, y'all are from two different things. But it's been really good to just step outside. We've been working in our yard a lot lately and just see the beauty of God, hearing the birds chirping. And I do a devotional with a friend of mine, and we sit outside at her house 6 feet apart and just enjoying the weather and enjoying each other and just realizing all of God's creations. And with this, I have grown a more understanding, not only for learning that time with God is essential, but I've learned more about my children. I've learned more about my husband. I've learned more about me. And it's been really nice to learn more of what my kids like, learn more of the things that my husband likes for me to do. So it all around has just grown my life, really. Um, and then another Bible verse that I thought about almost instantly was when Jesus was calming the storm. I mean, it says that the Lord, starting at Mark 4:37-40, a furious squall came up, and the waves broke over the boat so that it was nearly swamped. And Jesus was in the stern, sleeping on a cushion. The disciples woke him and said to him, "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" And then when he got up, he rebuked the wind and said to the waves, "Quiet, be still." And then the winds died down and it was completely calm. And then he says to his disciples, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" And I thought about that and I was like, I deal with depression and I deal with anxiety and I get overwhelmed very, very quickly and very easily. Like this week, I had a complete meltdown because there was no more milk. Something like simple like that can really get to me on bad days, is what I call them. If I wake up all like anxious, I instantly go, it's a bad day. And I realize it's okay to have bad days. Maybe not to where I cry over milk, but it's okay to have the bad days. And that kind of goes in with me being able to spend more time and to be still. I have to remember that it's not my time, it's his time. And no matter how much I want it to be my time, it never will be. And piggyback off of the depression part, it's really helped getting to know him and learning like songs that kind of get me through stuff, that gets me through the days that I'm tired of being home, that I want to be at church. Um, I want to work with the kids. I want to be at work at Millwood. And it just, I don't know. I guess being still is a hard thing for me. I don't know how to be still, but I'm getting there. I focus on those two verses, and I have to remember that God's there. God will always be there. He's there for me in the good times, the bad times. He's there for me to praise, and He's also there when I need to yell. He's even there when I don't know what to say. Um, I was talking about that with a friend, that even on the days that you don't know what to do but cry to God and there no words are coming out, He hears you. All you have to do is be still and you'll hear Him back. You'll feel Him if you just be still. I've realized on the day that I was crying over the milk, when I just quit worrying about everybody else in the house and I just came and I sat and I just put on one of my songs that I listen to on bad days. Um, it's called "Where Were You" by Francesca. Um, that's my go-to song, and when I go to it, it reminds me that He's carrying me. He's not walking beside me in the storm. He's not um, in front of me, coaching me like we do toddlers when they take their first walk. He's carrying me through the storm, and that song reminds me of that because a part of it is you were there, I was on your arms with your shoulders black and blue. It was your footprints, not mine. um and that gives me really good peace, and it helps me to know that, yeah, you're not alone. And I'm really glad that I got to speak. It's been on my heart for a while to, with all the hateful things and all the craziness and the whether to wear a mask, whether to wear gloves, whether to get through this or get through that. With this whole quarantine, when are we going back to normal? Honestly, I don't want my old normal. I like, I, okay, I don't want the scary parts, like the deaths and stuff. But I like that my family is learning how to appreciate each other and learning how to be still, and we're learning how to give God the time that He deserves. I was reading something from my devotional, and it was talking about tithing. And one thing that kind of stuck out was tithing the, we all know 10% when you give offering, 10% of what you make. But really, I thought about it, and my goal now for me is to tithe my time. Um, give him the 2 hours and however many minutes, I can't remember what it was, but giving him at least those 2 hours. I think it's 2 hours and 40 minutes. Yeah. Almost 3 hours. Not all at once. I mean, I do it through my devotionals, I do it through the book, through the Bible, I do it through praising and worshiping, I do it through working with the kids about God. So it's not all at once. I mean, a good hour of it is my devotions and music. So that's my goal, is to tithe my time, because I seem to only give him not even probably 10% of the 10% of my time. Um, so yeah, this isn't long. It's basically what was on my heart. Maybe I'll do it again and have a little bit more to say. But until then, be still and know He's God and know He's with you. Bye, guys.